Yoshiller, and welcome back to some more Pokemon BATAW! So folks, every month here in Pokemon Sword and Shield, every player's rankings get reset. So I thought this would be a prime opportunity to try and change some things about the team that I've been using to do ranked doubles battles, or VGC style matches. Now I've done a fair share of changes to my team, including some moveset changes and some EV spread changes, but the biggest change is that instead of using my low tick on my team now, I am using Noctowl with a Blunder Policy with the ability Tinted Lens, which makes it so that not very effective moves just deal the same amount of damage as they would if they were normally effective. So, why Noctowl? Well, let's get into a little bit of explanation time. So at first glance, Noctowl seems like another generic bird, and it kind of is, but it does have a few distinctions to set it apart from the other generic birds. And of the Pokemon that are in my Pokemon bubble, Noctowl is the only one I have access to at this moment that is part normal type. That gives it immunity to ghost type Pokemon such as Dragapult and Mimikyu, who have been common threats to me so far. Noctowl doesn't particularly have any high stats, but it does serve well as a special wall and as a decent support Pokemon, being able to set up screens and use some stat boosting or stat nerfing moves. Additionally, Noctowl can learn all sorts of great special attacks like Heat Wave and Hurricane. However, these attacks don't have guaranteed accuracy. But there is a new item called Blunder Policy that boosts my speed stat if I miss. So I can use my low accuracy to my advantage and try and do a backup plan. Plus, you know me, I love doing weird, quirky strategies. I thought it'd be fun to try and use a Noctowl, so let's give it a whirl, huh? Especially now that the rankings have been reset, I don't have much to lose. Although I should admit that I already tried doing a bunch of battles with Noctowl, some wins, some losses, but I was plagued with disconnecting issues. Sometimes the disconnects caused me to win, but more often than not, they caused me to lose. I tried playing dozens of matches with Noctowl, and after several internet issues, there are two matches in particular that I want to post, this video being one of them. But I feel the need to clarify a few things before I press onward. As some of you know, my whole gimmick with this Pokemon BATAW series is that I resort to using the same Pokemon from my bubble. And as a friendly reminder, all of these Pokemon are Pokemon that I obtained from the various walkthroughs and Pokemon series that I've recorded for my channel. The only Pokemon I've ever caught twice was Noctowl. I even commissioned some custom artwork so that it would be easier to place both of my Noctowl into a chart. Although some might say that I have two of another Pokemon, Darmanitan, who by technicality is the same Pokemon according to the Pokedex, but in terms of having the exact same Pokemon twice, technicalities aside, no form differences, I willingly possess two Noctowl, not due to any sort of game update or changes. I just like Noctowl. I obtained my first Noctowl during the after game of my Pokemon White walkthrough, and I obtained the other as a Hoot in Pokemon Heart Gold. The idea was that each Noctowl would have different moves and would therefore perform differently. Beyond that, there aren't really any differences. They're both female, they were both caught in a standard Pokeball, neither of them are shiny, and they both assisted me with many noteworthy battles in the past. However, Pokemon Sword and Shield have made competitive battling very accessible, and it has been very easy to reconstruct my Pokemon if I want to change something. It is now very simple to alter a Pokemon's moves, nature, EV spread, and ability. Therefore, switching between two different Noctowl seems rather pointless since it's so easy just to modify one. And so, for the sake of discussion, the Noctowl that I shall be using shall be based on the one that I obtained back in Pokemon Heart Gold. And that one's nickname is simply Noctowl, like the word knock and towel combined. Yeah, that was the best I could come up with at the time. Now, let's give Noctowl a whirl. And in addition to having this team consist of a Noctowl, there are also some other modifications I made. My Weavile now knows Icy Wind, and Alcremie now knows Mystical Fire. In any case, let me show you some results that I had that demonstrate the power of this Noctowl Blunder Policy team, as Noctowl is the star of the show right now. So, let me cut ahead. Here we go now. An opposing trainer has been found. Well, if I win this match, I'll tie my wins and losses together, which isn't really fair because like two of my losses were through disconnects and one of my wins was through disconnect. So I'd have to get another win through disconnects to truly even it out. So my opponent here needs to disconnect. Anyway, he has Snorlax, Dragapult, Mimikyu, Rotom, Hippowdon, and Aegislash. So you know what? He has Dragapult and Mimikyu, which is like the whole reason I'm even trying out Noctowl right now. So I gotta bring Noctowl. Then we'll bring Weavile. What Pokemon do I want in the back though? Alcremie is good for Dragapults, but then again, so is Noctowl already. Probably not bringing Lucario. Goodra, if Aegislash is a special attacker, Goodra would be good. It basically comes down to which Pokemon do I want to Dynamax, or Gigantamax, if it's Lapras or Alcremie. But if Aegislash is a physical attacker, Goodra's not going to do much. So maybe the play is Lapras, Alcremie? Set up the screens with Lapras, Alcremie can Mystical Fire in the background if need be. Maybe that's the play. Goodra could have also been good against Rotom now that I see it, but he has a fair share of physical attackers on his team with Snorlax, Mimikyu, potentially Aegislash, Hippowdon. I think it's better for me to bring a more physically defensive team. And we are going to your arena, which is the champion arena, and I am A-okay with that. So, let's give this a whirl and see what happens. Let's see how well Noctowl can play. This seems like a Noctowl-centric match with you having 3 ghost types. So let's see. Hippowdon and Dragapult. Okay, so here's what I'm thinking. It was smart of him to start with Dragapult because I can't use Fake Out on it, and Icy Wind might not lower its speed because Dragapult usually runs that ability where its stats can't get lowered. So it might be wiser of me to use Fake Out on the Hippowdon, so the Hippowdon flat out won't attack this turn because it might have Rock Slide and that could cripple both my Pokemon right now. So we do Fake Out on Hippowdon. Yeah, Fake Out on Hippowdon, Hypnosis into Dragapult. And if I miss the Dragapult, then I'll try it again next turn. But it's integral that I take out the Dragapult sooner rather than later, because I think that's the biggest threat. He could be running a specially offensive Dragapult too. I know that that's becoming more and more common. Let's see what his plan is. No matter what, Hippowdon's not going to be able to attack this turn. I mean, yeah, no matter what, it won't be able to attack this turn. Even if it uses Protect, that's not attacking, right? So it comes down to what the Dragapult's going to do, because it's probably the fastest thing on the field. It could go for Dragon Darts. I think I would be able to take both hits. Let's see. So we got Fake Out onto Hippowdon. Alright, then Dragapult's gonna go next. Oh, you have a Rocky Helmet. That's fascinating. U-turn. Okay. Oh, it doesn't matter. Sandstorm's gonna kill the Weavile. Well, that sucks. Okay, well, what's coming in then? Hopefully, Noctowl hits it with Hypnosis. If it doesn't hit, I can use that in my favor because now Dragapult's in the back. Noctowl's Blunder Policy will go off, so Noctowl's speed will increase. Okay, Aegislash. So whether or not this hits or misses isn't too big of a deal right now. It does connect, which I think is the more beneficial play. Okay, so Aegislash is asleep. We have yet to see if it's a physical attacker or a special attacker. I am banking on it being a special attacker, but I will play cautiously just in case. So Weavile is out. So that's fine. You got your Fake Out. You couldn't really get your Taunt out. That would have been great against Aegislash, who loves to run King Shield. So what I'm going to do instead, I really could run Lapras or Alcremie right now, but I think I'm going to go with Alcremie, because now's the time that she can set up Calm Mind, and Noctowl, I can start using Feather Dance on Hippowdon. Alternatively, I could use Decorate on my Noctowl and start going on the offensive. So let's go for Decorate, and then let's see if I can put the Hippowdon to sleep too, because I feel like no matter what, Noctowl is going to survive this turn. So let's see if I can put it to sleep, and then I can start spamming Feather Dance and Calm Mind. So I think this is the play. My Noctowl, I don't know if Noctowl is faster than Hippowdon, because Hippowdon flinched the previous turn. I would believe Hippowdon's faster, because I don't have speed investments in Noctowl. Okay, Aegislash is the fastest thing on the field, good to know. And then, Noctowl is next. Hypnosis does connect, which is very good. My Blunder Policy still hangs out in the back. I can still proc my Blunder Policy by trying to use Hurricane or Heat Wave, so not super worried about that. We've got the Decorate going. Very good. Alright, Noctowl, this is your match to shine. I just have to hope I don't get disconnected. Please don't let me get disconnected. Let me knock on the wood. Please, let this match play out and let it be in my favor. Okay, so, damage from Sandstorm is fine. Alcremie has leftovers. Okay, so, Noctowl is still going to be really slow. Dragapult's still in the back, so that's still a problem. He hasn't Dynamaxed yet. I'm going to start setting up Calm Minds, just in case that Aegislash is a special attacker. And then I'm going to start Feather Dancing the Aegislash in case it's a physical attacker. I'm going to go back and forth between Hippowdon and Aegislash. Aegislash could wake up any minute now. It depends on how lucky I am and how lucky my opponent is. Let's see. Okay, it's asleep for another turn. That's good. It's very good. The longer you're asleep, the better. The better. The better. Not the better. The better. The better. Feather Dance. I'm using Feather Dance. Makes things better. Okay, so we got Calm Mind. Noctowl has Decorate going. We are set. Things are looking okay right now. I don't want to spend too long setting up, because if he takes both these Pokemon out in like one turn, then all of this will be for nothing. So let's maybe do one more turn of setup. Maybe like Feather Dance onto Hippowdon and then one more Calm Mind, and then that'll have to be it. Let's see what his play is. And then I don't know if sleep mechanics were changed. I know that in previous generations, if you called back a Pokemon while it was sleeping, the amount of turns in which it was asleep was reset. I don't know if that's still the case in this game. I think it's still like after 5 turns, no matter what you wake up, you're asleep for a minimum of 1 turn, maximum of 5. But we shall see. Aegislash is awake. King Shield, okay. We still have yet to see if it's a physical attacker or a special attacker, but I am glad it used that because I am not attacking it this turn. Okay, Feather Dance onto Hippowdon, because you're definitely a physical attacker. That's just what Hippowdon is. And then Calm Mind onto Alcremie. Now, if the Aegislash is a special attacker, Noctowl could still be in trouble. She does have a fair share of special defense investments, but... Oh, wow. Hippowdon's already awake. Alright, well, I'm glad I got the Feather Dance off on it while I could. Yeah, there we go. So things are okay. Yeah, Sandstorm's only going to hurt me, but the Sandstorm's only going to be in effect for, like, one more turn, so... We'll see what he plans to do. Both of them have -2 attack. Alcremie has +2 special defense. They're both awake. I could go for Hypnosis again. I still have yet to see if the Aegislash is a special attacker, so maybe like using Mystical Fire on it is a good idea, just in case, to try and keep Noctowl alive, and then Feather Dance back on Hippowdon. Because I know for certain that you're a physical attacker, and I know that Feather Dance will connect. So, let's see. We'll find out now if Aegislash is a special attacker. Noctowl is the fastest thing on the field, huh? What is... Wait, did I proc my Blunder Policy? No, I didn't. What is the Aegislash doing then? Oh, Aegislash was only faster because it used King Shield. So Noctowl, by default, is the fastest thing on this... Okay, that psyched me out. Sorry. Okay, so Noctowl is already fast without the Blunder Policy. He's using Shadow Ball, so he's a special attacker, which is fine. A-okay. Can't use Shadow Ball on Noctowl, so he had to use it on Alcremie. Aha! Okay, this is working out. Under normal circumstances, Noctowl generally has insomnia, so it can't go to sleep anyway, but having Alcremie on the field never hurts. And of course, my Noctowl doesn't have insomnia, it has Tinted Lens, which means that if I wanted to use Hurricane, it would deal neutral damage. Okay. I still have not procced my Blunder Policy. This is just me being lucky with Hypnosis. Okay, well, now that we know that Aegislash is a special attacker, I feel like going for Calm Mind can help. May as well. And then we'll do... Because his Dragapult will only do so much in the back, right? And then we can do Heat Wave, try and hit both of them. I could take out Aegislash here, deal a decent chunk of damage to Hippowdon. And if it misses just one of them, that's enough to activate my Blunder Policy. So let's see how lucky I am here. Let's see what his plan is. Noctowl does have boosted stats from the Decorate that I used earlier. I already forgot. So that'll be handy. So yeah, it should definitely take out Aegislash here. Aegislash is going back. I don't blame him. Mimikyu, okay. Well, if my Heat Wave hits the Mimikyu, that's beneficial. And it misses the Mimikyu. That's fine. That gives me the speed boost. It can't use Shadow Sneak on Noctowl because I'm immune to it. I now have a speed boost. So now I'm definitely the fastest thing on the field. Okay, there's the Calm Mind. They could both target Alcremie this next turn and try to take it out. So Mimikyu could deal a ton of damage to it. Hippowdon alone wouldn't be able to take it out. Let's see. Ice Fang. I am dead! No! After all that, I finally proc my weakness... Not my weakness policy, my Blunder Policy, and you get a critical hit after all that? I wasn't even able to show my strategy at all. I mean, I was putting stuff to sleep with Noctowl, yeah, but that wasn't the whole strategy. The strategy was to try and proc my Blunder Policy. Okay, so me using Decorate on Noctowl, it's all gone. I would have been totally set up. I missed the Mimikyu. That was the crucial thing I needed. But you know what the good news is? I haven't Dynamaxed yet, so I can still set up my screens. It gives me a defense boost. So it has to be this. Now, Alcremie still has her Calm Minds. That's good. Man! Yes, obviously I'm gonna be bummed every time one of my Pokemon goes down, but Noctowl didn't even get to do what she was supposed to do. Debatably. She put Pokemon to sleep. She barely got to attack. I wish that I was able to hit the Mimikyu. So now all those attack drops are gone. Alcremie's still specially defensive, which is fantastic. I hope I can take out Mimikyu right now, because otherwise that's the biggest threat. He's been switching out so much that Alcremie is all set up. I'm finally G-Maxing. He hasn't Dynamaxed yet either, so that's worrisome. He could still win this, but I'll get my screen set up. Everything else on his team, Alcremie can take care of. I'm surprised he brought 3 Ghost types. I had Noctowl. Alright, let's see what his plan is. So there's the Swords Dance. Yep, that's what Mimikyu always does, and that's why I needed Noctowl to stay alive. Okay, well at least I know his full team that he brought. It's Hippowdon, Aegislash, Mimikyu, Dragapult. Okay, Disguise is busted. Let's see how much my screens do. That'll give me a defense boost, so it's like the equivalent of Mimikyu only having +1 attack rather than +2. Let's see, this probably won't KO it. I don't really expect it to. Okay, it's fine. So, I'm basically doing this whole battle with Lapras and Alcremie because Noctowl hardly did much damage. I mean, the Mystical Fire onto Aegislash earlier was probably beneficial, and the little Heat Wave damage I did to the Hippowdon was probably beneficial. Okay, so Noctowl did get to do some damage with that Decorate boost. Alright, well, even so, let's use Dazzling Gleam to try and hit them both, and then let's get What do I want to set up? I guess Max Geyser. Because Max Lightning, it's not going to do too much for me right now. If I get Max Geyser, that'll make my water type move stronger for later. He'll send in Hippowdon and erase it, but I'll have one more turn of Dynamaxing to try and get the rain back out. So, we shall see. I just need to get Mimikyu out right now. Aegislash, I'm definitely not worried about. Okay, Mimikyu's going back. That's fascinating. So, his Sword Stance is gone. Dragapult coming in. Well, I'm using Dazzling Gleam with Alcremie, so this should actually KO it. This should one-shot it. And boom! That's what I'm talking about! Okay, that works out for me. I don't have to worry about Dragapult anymore. And then this... Okay, so Aegislash is faster. What move are you using? Tell me you're using, like, Sacred Sword on Lapras. Proc my Weakness Policy. Brick Break! Okay. Okay, that's smart. It does proc my Weakness Policy. Okay. So, I do want to use G-Max Resonance again to get my screens back up. Just in case. Just in case. I have to decide, right? Do I want the rain or do I want the screens? The screens, I guess, is smarter because the rain only benefits Lapras and it hinders my Alcremie's Mystical Fire. So, okay. We have the rain. It's going to get swapped out for sand. We'll use G-Max Resonance, which is still super effective toward Hippowdon anyway. And then we just got to worry about Mimikyu, which no longer has Sword Stance activated, and its Disguise has already been procced. So, here we go. Yep. There's Mimikyu. There's Hippowdon. Okay. With the Dazzling Gleam from Alcremie, that probably could take out Mimikyu. And with the G-Max Resonance with +2 special attack now that my Weakness Policy has been activated, that probably could take out Hippowdon. So let's give that a try. Mimikyu's probably the fastest thing on the field. Lapras should be able to survive. Alcremie should be able to survive. Let's see what the Mimikyu wants to use. Play Rough into Alcremie. It doesn't have an attack boost. Alcremie should be able to survive. Maybe barely, but she should be able to. I'm feeling okay. I'm feeling pretty safe right now. So he's Dynamaxing. Which one? Regular Pokeball. That could be either of them. I feel like that's going to be the Hippowdon. Let's see. It is the Hippowdon. Okay. Let's see what his vibe is. So Hippowdon's probably not going to go down this turn, even if I get the G-Max Resonance on, so I'm going to get like a critical... Actually, if I get a critical hit, it would KO. Let's see how much G-Max Resonance does. Okay. Max Guard. Oh, that was smart. So I don't get to have my screens. I have to hope that I can take out Alcremie right here. Play Rough. Should be able to survive. I did a lot. Yeah, if you had the +2 attack from Sword Stance, that would have taken me out for sure. So there's Dazzling Gleam. Okay. And then, should take out Mimikyu. Very good. So Mimikyu's done. Hippowdon has 2 more turns of being Dynamax, and I get hurt by the sand every turn, and I don't have screens. Now, it is a physical attacker, but because it's Dynamax, it doesn't have any spread moves. So that kind of works in my favor. The Sandstorm being here, like, it sucks. Alcremie will heal whatever damage is dealt by the Sandstorm, but the Sandstorm deals damage first. So if Alcremie's health is too low, the Sandstorm can finish her off. Okay, so let's think about this. Lapras has +2 special attack. Alcremie has +3 special attack. It could probably take out one, but not both. So as long as I just keep attacking it, I should be able to wear it down. It is fairly defensive, but I think after 1 or 2 hits, I should be able to get it. So there's Dazzling Gleam. Okay, Alcremie's faster than it, which means Lapras is faster than it. Fantastic! Okay, that wasn't so bad. I wish Noctowl was able to do a little more. I mean, don't we all? But her putting those Pokemon to sleep earlier allowed Alcremie to set up, which helped me win the battle overall. So Winry, thank you very much for the battle. I'm still going to keep trying out Noctowl. I definitely think this Pokemon has potential, and I think the Blunder Policy is a hilarious item. So I'll be using Noctowl on and off throughout this series. This isn't my final VGC team. I'm still going to experiment with different things, because that's the fun of Pokemon. Let's look at the opponent's team. What did he have? Okay, so he didn't bring Snorlax. He could have... Yeah, that's pretty standard. Dragon Darts, Phantom Force. Okay, so mixed attacker. I mean, physical attacker. Had Draco Meteor. He used it once. Shadow Claw, Play Rough, Shadow Dance. Shadow Dance. Swords Dance. Okay. Yeah, this is all standard stuff. The Hippowdon could have been trouble if it started using Yawn and Slack Off, but it couldn't use Yawn because Alcremie was on the field. And then you were also a mixed attacker. Okay. Fascinating team. Alright, folks, well, that wraps this episode of Pokemon BATAW, and I'd like to thank you all for watching. I hope to see you all in future videos. I hope you'll let me give Noctowl a chance, and we'll see what else Noctowl can do. For now, bye-bye, humans! Whoosh!
Hey, thank you for watching my video all the way to the end. If you want to show your support, one of the best things you can do is leave a comment down below. So if you have anything nice you want to say about the video, or if you have any questions, I'll try to respond to whatever I can at my earliest convenience. Either way, your support means a lot and I really appreciate it. I hope to see you all in the future. Bye-bye!